Welcome back to Raven Willow Farmstead. For weeks we have been racing against time, trying to clear forest and brush for an access road and other projects as the big machines are booked to come in. We become very aware how quick our ambitions can outpace our preparations, as an unexpected phone call changes our timeline drastically. We push forward, hoping we can pull everything together, but will our plans play out seamlessly or get stuck in the mud?
So today is going to be a really big day. I got a phone call last night. The crew that are coming in to do all the work on the property, they weren't supposed to come until next week. I got a call last night that they're coming this morning. So it's nice that they're coming in early, but I wasn't quite ready. I wanted to get Wallace's other pen done first. Didn't get it done. We got to get a lot of stuff out of the way that I literally had written on my calendar to do over the next 5 days. It's Monday today. And I'm not going to have time to do it. But that's how things go sometimes, and you just got to kind of roll with the punches. So I'm going to go trim up some trees. And these are way too wet. All right, so let's go chop some trees.
I had previously dropped the trees in this old corral. After all the half-buried garbage we were finding growing like weeds, we decided we needed to scrub the area. This was our chosen location for the corral, close to the house and on higher ground. But it needed to be safe, so it needed to be scrubbed. So now I needed to buck up the downed trees, so what's left can be moved.
You might remember this is where we used to have the cows penned up. I've taken all the fence out. I've dropped multiple trees out of there, most of the trees out of that space, leaving a couple of batches of maple trees there so that there is going to be some shade, some protection in there. Most of it's going to be open. And right here is where the start of the driveway is going to be. So we're going to have a driveway that comes in, around, down through here. There's almost a natural slope and a flat where you can drive a vehicle once it's cleared. I've cleared the trees back far enough. I'm just going to cut a little bit into the edge here just to make it a bit more open. Your road comes down, goes straight into the back there. Not sure if you can see it, but there's an opening there, probably about a 20-foot opening. We're going to put a 12-foot road along the property line on the west border. This is going to be sloped out a little bit more, so there's actually, you know, a grade to it and it's not so steep. Then we can walk on it. And there's going to be a road that comes along this way and goes all the way past the garden and around the chicken coop and then over into where Wallace is right now.
More?
Bulldozer.
This is amazing.
What was the other side? So it begins.
The arrival of the excavator and dozer was an incredible moment of dreams and plans crashing into the very earth under my feet. It was a snap of reality setting in that this is actually happening, and of dread that this is actually happening. I've had to come to terms with the fact that we've been walking a line between foolish and fervent, and the outcome of this project would define what side of the line we would fall on. Looking over the landscape that we had come so far to tame, living on it, and giving it my blood, sweat, and tears for just under a year was such a surreal moment. By the end of this day, this property would be forever changed. One of the keys to being able to build any farm is to have access to it. So the first objective was to build an access road for the machines. Up to this point, we could only access the back of our property by foot. I've had no experience organizing and directing a crew of construction workers, and being able to translate what I wanted in a way that they could understand my vision proved to be a challenge for me. Not knowing what was possible based on their skill and the machine's capability was like stepping into the Red Sea and hoping it would part. Fortunately for us, Jean and his son were absolute professionals. They lived up to the reputation they had obviously earned through years of jobs well done. Watching the excavator work filled me with a sense of awe. It could accomplish in moments what would take me hours, even days. My heart was full with gratitude to be right here on our land, carving out a farm that would not only feed my family, but hopefully one day help feed our community. Once the access road was prepared for the first load from the gravel truck, the excavator continued its momentum, clearing the new roadway that would go down the west side of the property. This road would give me the ability to move both machinery and livestock down the 1.4 kilometer long border. One big initial mistake I made was with the trees. What I didn't know was that all these trees needed to be cut up into shorter pieces in order to be moved out. Yes, we could have chipped them, but we didn't have a chipper or the time to do that. I barely got the trees down in time. Yes, we could have saved it all for firewood, but I didn't have the time to process it before they came. And we have over 50 acres of trees to harvest when we were ready. We quickly realized that we needed more room to stage the brush and trees into a pile, as well as widen the cleared space for the road. So I got my chainsaw and got busy clearing the way. We opted to pile some of it and donate the rest to an older gentleman who heats his home on wood. He was in his 80s and still rocking a chainsaw and hauling logs. So in my opinion, most of the trees went to good use. The first day was coming to a close, and it was incredibly inspiring to see our vision start to take real shape. But not everything was going so smoothly. We ran into a very sticky situation that threatened to completely sink what we had planned. This could stop us before we could make any real progress on our road to building this land into a farm from scratch. Next time on Raven Willow Farmstead.
Alright, we are in a little bit of a pickle. Probably the lowest point. I was worried about getting stuck.
He's just like clearing the land. I'm so excited about that.